Hello everyone, my name is Marco from Mind the Chart. Welcome to Satoshi Snack. Every day I host this market wrap up to keep you updated about the cryptocurrency and the latest on cryptocurrency. So if you're not subscribed to the channel, I suggest you to do so. And also check the links down below of our Twitter account. Satoshi Snack is aiming to be a social media cryptocurrency application. You will find, I think, the end of the month in your App Store or Android Store, Google Play Store. So for now, just follow us on Twitter and then follow the updates we release there. And let's check some news and the chart, shall we? Bitcoin all-time highs is expected but not before a pullback. So the bullish sentiment continues to grow after the Bitcoin price crossed above 57k on Monday. Bitcoin has risen about 3% in the past 24 hours, extending its outperformance against altcoins. A return to all-time high near 63k this quarter may be possible. The cryptocurrency rally is impressive as it has occurred in the face of a broader risk environment in both stocks and bonds, with the cryptocurrency market seemingly decoupled from equity market. We are seeing Bitcoin clearly lead this market into the toll. The initial spike in Bitcoin last week could be a result of traders taking large position ahead of the US Securities and Exchange Commission alleged approval of a futures-based Bitcoin ETF. So the option market is placing a 20% chance of Bitcoin closing the month to new all-time highs above 65k. So Bitcoin now is around 10% from its last all-time highs reached on April 14th. Bitcoin futures ETF, watch out for contango bleed. So there is a downside to the SEC chairman Gary Gensler's preference for an exchange-traded fund focused on Bitcoin futures, but is unlikely to discourage investors. But anyway, we want to talk about this contango. The contango bleed. This refers to the unperformance of the fund, which could theoretically occur because longer maturity futures contracts are trading at higher prices than shorter maturity contracts. So in commodity markets is common, is normal, because you have the different prices often roughly related to the cost of storage and such as oil or soybean or gold. But in Bitcoin markets, the contango steams mainly bullish expectation, because you are going with the speculation price. So contango on cryptocurrency is not expected. Is expected because you are gonna have the rollover and you're gonna lose month per month. So such contango could prove to be a liability, actually, because supposing you prove Bitcoin futures ETF, if someone buys the October contract at the current price, by the end of the month the premium in October contract will be likely positive. Then when the fund restores its exposure, it could end up selling the October contracts with a loss of $500 or 0.86%, which annualized will be roughly 10%. So and then having to buy the next month contract with the premium, it's going to cost more. So the rollover is going to cost more. So this is the problem with the contango that no one's talking about, but it is there. If we enroll with the futures ETF, you will see in the next month a fading of the price with the contango, and it's the same thing we saw with oil last year after the COVID. So often the price that investors pay for the rollover exceed the absolute return in the underlying asset, so causing a negative return on the investment even in an environment with rising prices, and that's not good. Trust me. So let's jump now into Bitcoin technical analysis. Still watching the monthly time frame here, and what I'm watching is the 0.78 Fibonacci that we touched just yesterday. So we still have time for actually going sideways for the rest of the year for an equilibrium on the monthly. It's something that we have to consider. Why? Because we are seeing this hype due to the ETF approval, but the move is already started. So it might be the same case that we have the Coinbase IPO, where we have this hype before, and then the sell, the news marked the top and the climax. So now what we're seeing here is Bitcoin at 57,522, with 10% away from the last all-time high. But it's everything. It's good as long as we stay above the last 4-hour higher low. Big bulls are still in control, and they will be. And Bitcoin dominance is played from Bitcoin parts, so they are going upward, in the same direction. So that's so bullish for Bitcoin for now. What I'm wondering is we will see a temporary top and sideways for a bit on the monthly, because the expectation here is once we release the ETF news, how many buyers will be left to buy Bitcoin actually at that move, because you have now is frustration from these shorts because they are underwater right now. But you also have frustration from some kind of bulls they couldn't buy because the price is grinding up so strong, and it is relentless. So there is no breather here to enter in a bull move, even if you want to. So that could cause actually a kind of blow off top event, because once we have the news release, after couple of hours the news is being released, we will see probably the last rush of people buying in, and then there are no more buyer, and in the price, supply will switch demand, and that will happen. We will see, a temporary top. My question is, we will see this temporary top before we hit the all-time high, because if this is the case, we will see a lower high probably on the monthly. But if we see an all-time high and then a temporary top, that will be better for the price of Bitcoin, because you can see a blue sky breakout and people will jump in anyway, because there is a blue sky breakout, so you don't have resistance. So you will take off shorter from the equation. So that's what will happen. But for now, we're just observing and see the volume, a lot of stuff. There are not a lot of volume here, even though there is all this rally. There is not a lot of bullish volume, but there is bullish momentum. So that's what it is. So I'm looking for this trend line here. I put here with the weekly time frame, and this one too is a kind of a channel, rising channel. And yesterday I told you I drew some resistance here, and the first one is beneath 57,900. So now on the daily, so the weekly time frame, we saw there is nothing to see here. Everything we find above 39,500 is going to be another weekly higher low. So for now, the pattern is higher lows, higher highs on the weekly. So that's fine. But what we want to see here on the daily is the price action on the daily, because we actually broke bullish this rising channel we were watching. We touched the resistance line here at 57,900, and now we are having all the Bitcoin dominance from our part to go up. So if you're bullish on Bitcoin, if you are already in a position like me, you are sit comfortable on your position. But the altcoins holders now, they're not, because they lost a lot of momentum because they have been left in the sand. Actually, altcoins will be recovered later once Bitcoin will find a top, then sideways action. The altcoins will recover once the dominance will go down. And we are watching also Ethereum, Bitcoin to gauge this kind of a move. So now what I'm watching is resistance, where actually Bitcoin will find its temporary top, and once the pattern of continuous higher lows on the candles will broken. If we're going on the 6-hour time frame, I'm watching the 12 EMA on the 6-hour time frame, because once we close below the 6-hour, the 6-hour 12 EMA, that will probably trigger the daily consolidation. So once we break the pattern of continued higher lows on the candles, we will see our daily consolidation and actually the first RSI on the hourly RSI. And that's the point where I want to build my position more. So where I want to add some Bitcoin and actually some altcoins, because that's the fact. Once Bitcoin will go down, And on the bounce of the Bitcoin, we will see actually altcoins recover better, maybe because the dominance will go down as well, and then we will see this shifting momentum between the two. So that's what I'm watching. So that's it for today, guys. I mean, Ethereum Bitcoin is still going down. First time RSI daily after a year. So the last time we saw Ethereum in this condition was February last year. So now it's going in its bounce zone because we have the 200 EMA and also the daily RSI, and we saw the same kind of thing here. So that's what I'm watching. Probably we can recover Ethereum for a while, and once Ethereum Bitcoin will be recovered, the rest of the altcoins will follow. So that's what I'm watching, and the Bitcoin dominance, of course, finding a top maybe to the 200 EMA on the daily, and on the monthly, still a monthly equilibrium we were expecting. So we can actually go sideways for a long period of time here, some weeks. So that's all for today, guys. If you like and enjoyed this video, please subscribe to the channel and hit the notification bell and follow Satoshi Snack. On to the next one.